Okay, we're going to take a look at some review problems now. We're going to do a total of 12 different problems, probably split up between a few different videos. And what I'd like you to do for these problems that we're going to be working on is after you take a look at the problem and after I kind of describe what you're going to be doing, I want you to hit pause, work out the problem, and then hit play again so that you can see if you worked it out in the same way I worked it out and if you got the same answer that I got. Okay? Now let's take a look at number 1 right here. It's 13x equals negative 338. Now we're solving for x in this problem, so that means we want to try and get it by itself. So go ahead and try and hit pause now and work out the problem. Okay, here's what I'm going to do to solve this problem. Now I know I want to get this x all by itself. Right now I have a 13x. I have the term with the x by itself, but the x is not isolated. And the way I'm going to isolate this x here is I'm going to take and I'm going to divide it by its coefficient, which is 13 in this case. Now 13x divided by 13 just leaves me x. Negative 338 divided by 13. It's a negative divided by a positive, so it's a negative answer. And I'd have to get my calculator out to do this. I already did that. And it's going to be 26. So x equals negative 26 is the answer to number 1. Now number 2, move it over to the center here a little bit, says negative 18 equals 3/4 y. Okay, you're still trying to isolate the y. Go ahead and hit pause, try and work that one out. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to be dividing by my coefficient of y. I have the term with the y or the variable isolated. I just got to get rid of that coefficient. I get rid of coefficients by dividing by them, but this is a fraction. So when I divide by the fraction, what I do is I actually multiply by its reciprocal. So I'm going to take the negative 18. I should have left myself more room over here. I'm going to multiply it by 4/3. I'm going to rewrite that so it's a little nicer. 4/3 times negative 18 over 1 equals 3/4 y times 4/3. That looks a little better. Now, of course, here on the right side, the 3/4 times the 4/3 leaves me with a y. That's why I chose the reciprocal of 3/4, so it left me with y. Now over here, I can reduce this first, or I can multiply and then reduce it. I'll go ahead and multiply it first. 4 times negative 18 is negative 72. 3 times 1 is 3. Now I can reduce negative 72 over 3 by dividing them both by 3. That's going to give me negative 24 over 1, which is just negative 24. So y equals negative 24 ends up being my answer for number 2.